unfortunately, they became overwhelming, and yet here we are. Don't say we don't do anything for you guys. We are still between maps, so we're not missing any gameplay as well. And in fact, we do know what our second map is going to be. It is going to be Runa Sapi, Risen.
Runa Sapi, yeah. I'm not necessarily surprised. I'm not sure about the substitutes yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if we have the designated Mauga player come in. Let me just check that name. Something cat. Yes,
no, that's a good
I wouldn't
point,
be surprised. We saw quite a while ago Ducklings take a map off of the Inglorious Blasters on this exact map with something cat on Mauga. Now, Mauga since then has kind of been put in the dirt, here I say.
Where he belongs.
Absolutely stomped to the bottom of good tank ladder. I think ranked play percentage right now is below 10% for Mauga. But that does not mean that teams, when working together, can make it work. So I wouldn't necessarily be surprised. And yeah, I think confirmation from the subs here. Duelist is out and Something Cat is in. So I think the only hero we can expect is Mauga, right?
Yeah, you called it. I'm impressed, Risen. You called it, and so it was. We do know our bans as well. They do ban Ramatra. They didn't call it. Pink Salamanders. They've decided Luxodian is the player to target here. I feel like Luxodian has been too outspoken about his Lucio mainness, and so it's a pretty safe way to tilt a Lucio main is to force him to play something not called Lucio. But Ethereal Ducklings, they don't want to go up against a Brawly composition here, or at least they want to remove some of the power of the Brawly composition. They take out the Ram. Makes a lot of sense on the push map.
Ever since Mauga's downfall, Ramatra has kind of semi-replaced him in the fact of being able to sustain, although played extremely differently. Current state Ramatra versus Mauga. Ramatra does really well into that, so I'm not surprised about the Ramatra ban kind of stopping this wall of a tank from existing and stopping your entire slam engage. And the Lucio ban from Salamanders, there's nothing else for me to say besides that this is just a meme ban and a complete stab at Luxodian.
Yeah, like actual targeted ban. It's not even that. It's not even that game breaking. It's just just take that dude's hero away. It stops Junker Queen. Peach is pitching in with some knowledge bombs here. So apparently it stops Junker Queen comps. I guess Blur's pretty confident on Junker Queen. That wouldn't surprise me. He's comfortable on most heroes. But we'll have to wait and see what each team wants to do here. The Mauga feels like a given though, isn't it? It has to be said. Take out the Ram. The enemy team doesn't ban the Mauga. He's not so worried about the Lucio ban either. So yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. And there it is, Risen. Clear as day, you called it. He's had enough, Duelist. Oh, Duelist isn't even playing. Don't panic, guys.
I mean, we see the Mauga, right? But then we see the Arnis and Yada ball comp coming out from Salamanders. And currently, it's difficult into this bridge in a backline. But this will, from a distance, deconstruct Ethereal Ducklings comp to a T. If Salamanders just play this correctly and anti the Mauga when he's trying to sustain, it's just so difficult for Mauga to do anything. And who knows, maybe Cat has done stuff behind the scenes and can play other heroes and is just walking out of the Mauga as a signature hero for now. But I guess we will just have to wait and see.
Well, indeed. And they didn't ban the Honor, so they were not really worried about playing that. They could have banned it. And Kiriko almost feels mandatory now, but talk about what you want here, and they are winning this team fight. Something Cat takes down Trizzle, but they've lost a lot of players on the side of Pink Salamanders. Easy for me to say. And Nyan, last man standing here. The Venture, we didn't mention it, but we did talk about it right at the start. Rooney coming out on that, banned up first game, and now he gets to ply his trade on the Digger once again.
And we see this first like area of the map is quite difficult for backlines, like slow backlines to walk into, right? But coming into the more open sides of the map, I wouldn't be surprised, as we've seen out, that Salamanders get more free range to just kind of spam and shoot at this brawl comp along the way.
Yeah, Something Cat kind of on his own sim here on the point, but great work splitting up, cutting them down one by one here. Pink Salamanders, a clinical display of how to run this kind of composition.
And we see the poor Lucio main being forced onto Brig, getting bullied out at every given time.
Lucio mains are funny because they're like Mercy mains, except they actually contribute to society, and it's just funny to see them suffer. Like, I don't even hate them. It's just Lucio mains, they just all they think about is Lucio and how to play Lucio and pooping people off the map. But Something Cat, he wants to take down Trizzle. Is he gonna get him? He's so low. They do track him down, Coconuts, but he is dropping low. But he's got the second heart, whatever that spell is called. Kind of keep himself alive here. Blur gets a big slam, a lot of damage, but no kills here. As Voiduruni on the flank looking for targets. He drills on through. They're on the back line here. This is something they did quite well with Julius on the second map, but not able to do on the third map. But Mauga is the panacea to all of Ethereal Duckling's ills here. And Will just got some kills, but a bit of an over-aggressive movement there from Voiduruni. He will get taken down. Trizzle tracks down Ripe and takes him down as well, and now will clean up a lot. So a great start to the team fight for Ethereal Ducklings, but unfortunately the respawn's coming through, securing a lot of kills here. Trizzle picks up 3 in that team fight, I think, and that's going to be it. Still with a slim lead here, Ethereal Ducklings, but they're going to lose out now.
And we see really good engage from the Venture and the Mauga from the side of Ducklings there. I think just a little bit of slight miscommunication afterwards, cleaning up the fire. But I think if they can carry on doing what they're doing, and then better their cleanup after that, they're looking really strong currently.
Ooh, Venture is desperate to keep the lead here, and they will do that for now. Something Cat's in as well. Somebody's going to get on the point, though, and they do just that. Something Cat finds Trizzle. He popped the ulti, he took down Coconuts. His ulti pops as well, but it's not going to be enough to keep him alive, is it? It actually is for the time being. Transcendence is good, but the anti-heal is even better as Something Cat is taken down here. Ripe doing so much damage. He finds 1. Can he find 2? It's not likely. Metal Snow with the anti-heal will take down the enemy Sojourn. And after all is said and done, they will lose out the lead here. Pink Salamander start to get ahead.
Quite the even ult fight in that fight there. But Sally's obviously having the Tracer with the speedy ult coming into the fight with a Pulse Bomb and soon to follow the mines. But this Juno Ray and Brig ultimate from the side of Ducklings looming over them, I feel like Ducklings may be able to turn this fight into their favor.
God, you can see how these two supports are always aware of where each other are here. Need to be careful. The wall jumped out at him there. He stops the sleep there, but it doesn't really matter. They're doing so much damage here, and you kind of get a sense of the weakness of the Mauga. Isolated and taken down. First point capped here. Forward spawn gained, and that is a good push for Pink Salamanders.
Yeah, and I think Ducklings are going to have to play slightly more defensive here. Maybe look to punish the ball with this rally coming in, or try and somehow get a pick with their Sojourn, because walking into this open space, into this Zen Ana again.
Oh, hello.
Such a difference.
Hellspawn looked like it could have been good there, but didn't find any purchase, unfortunately, for Nyar. But here comes Big Bad Blur on the high ground, not finding any kills just yet, but so much damage on the Brig, slams him into space with the boop, and that's going to be it for Lixodian. Can they find any more? I'm sure they will. Trizzle just getting some triage there in the backline. Nyar dropping so low, isn't tracked down. Yes, he is, and Ripe finds Blur as well. That's going to give space for Something Cat to get all kinds of aggressive here in the backline. Dropping low, Transcendence available. A great out from Fluffy there, keeps his team in this team fight, but Trizzle goes too aggro. Something is so low, surely he doesn't live here. 27 HP, eventually taken down by Fluffy, but the pressure is on in the front line here. Lixodian, last man standing, I think, looking for friends, looking for teammates, but nobody's home, and he's going down. Fluffy takes him out. A great team fight from the Flex support.
No, that Transcendence, man. I really thought that Sally's were just going to reset there and take the next fight, but they don't really want to lose this long-range portion of the map, which I think is really important for their comp to thrive into this extremely aggressive brawl. Still not seeing the rally come out from Lex. I really want to see him use it this time.
Oh, Rocket Barrage in the backline. Ripe taken down immediately. The shield will keep the Brig in fight. There's the rally you asked for, Risen, but it's kind of used very defensively here. They are tracking down. They've spotted out. This is great communication from the Pink Salamanders. They know where Voidoruni is, and they take him out. His dead body lands upon the health pack, but it does not bring him back to life as once again Trizzle wreaking havoc from the high ground. Somebody needs to put the pressure on. Somebody needs to clip his wings, but how can you clip his wings when you got all kinds of balls in your faces? Big balls, small balls. It's a bad time if you're a duckling.
Yeah, no, Duckling is just really struggling with this high progress. I think they need to play a little bit more tight-knit, especially with this Juno breakback line. If they kind of take the slams a little bit more isolated in their side of the map and then walk off of their turn after Salamanders can't really do much about them walking, then I think they have a really good chance here. Oh,
big old flank from the something cat here. In fact, he just runs over Metal Snow. Pops the ulti as well. He's going to trap Learn, but what is this? Another Transcendence from the main man here on the Zen Yeezy. But he's going to get taken down eventually. Transcendence only lasts for so much time, and when it ends, he is vulnerable inside the cage fight. Nyan under pressure, taken down. Voidoruni comboed him up here, playing Street Fighter here against Nyan, and coming out on top.
Yeah, no, Fluffy just being able to press left click all game from range at the big Mauga on the enemy team, farming these Transcendences, fight after fight. It just seems like a little bit of, I don't know, maybe it just didn't last long enough in that cage, and something cat coming out on top. Here we see now the mine's out from Blur and the Venture ultimate.
Voidoruni finds another. Right, will get taken down. Drizzle's done a good job taking out his counter. He finds another one. Pops the ulti now. Will go down, but he takes down a third. It's Metal Snow going down as well. A very even team fight, but Blur is full HP, putting the pressure on. Boots off the map, gets into space. No, he's gonna hang on, but there's no way back from here, surely. I don't know this hero well enough to know if he can make it out of here, but I suspect, yeah, he's gonna have to shoot himself into the drink.
Oh my goodness. You get booped off by the Venture Joe, that must feel so bad. But yeah, huge barrage from Trizzle, but I think, yeah, not being able to clean up the Brig after that, just being able to sustain. This is the power of the Brig Juno backline. Yeah, it's like if you don't punish them, one of them pretty much instantly, they're just gonna sustain your damage, right?
Well, they're all trying to do that. Trizzle once again getting aggro here. He spotted out Voidoruni. He's got too close. You don't want to be so close to the Venture. You're fighting on her turf as Blur dropping low here, but Voidoruni, he's popping off 1, 2, 3 kills in the enemy backline, supported so effectively by the Juno. They've got their first cap, and now they work towards a lead of their own here. A long way to go yet for Ethereal Ducklings, but they've got control of the game for now.
Coming into the more tight-knit section of the map again. We saw on their side that they kind of defended out against Salamanders, and now they're on the Salamander side. Wouldn't be surprised if they're able to push in very aggressively now.
Good work from Pink Salamanders. They find a couple of key targets there. Licks and Coconuts going down. Fluffy, he might go down as well, but maybe not. Drills into the wall there. I think he tried to drill kind of around it there, but it's not going to be good enough, and that's going to be it here. Pink Salamanders finally regaining control, but they'll be happy to take fights like this all day because the lead is pretty far off for Ethereal Ducklings.
Duckling is coming into this next fight with 4 ultimates, and we see again Fluffy with this Transcendence going to be looking to try and stop it, and the early pick from Nyan as well. Wouldn't be surprised if this fight is in this favor of Sally's.
It does seem likely here, especially with the minefield blocking out the team. Drizzle once again tracks down the Brig and takes them down as once again Something Cat on his own, isolated, pops the... That spell's got a name. Who knows what it is? Nobody knows. There's no way of finding out. Unfortunately, it's one of those black holes of information that just don't exist. But it is going to be Pink Salamanders keeping the lead going. It's a hard fight back from here for the Ducklings.
Yeah. Again, still with the 4 ultimates, but that looming Transcendence coming out from Fluffy. The cage might not be able to get much value here. Looks like he's going to go for it, though.
Try to get through. He does get it down, but there it is. The ultimate available for the Zen Yeezy, and both supports have dropped here for Ethereal Ducklings. It's been a good fight for them, but it's not likely to go much further here on Runa Sapi. They've lost all 5. It is overtime. The lead, the clock will tick down, and Pink Salamanders take a 2-0 lead in this series.
I mean, I said in the beginning, 3-2 to Sally's, so I mean, now it's all up to Ducklings to get those 2 maps.
Yeah, anything's possible at this point, don't get me wrong, but it definitely feels like Pink Salamanders have control of proceedings, but it's not been one-sided at all. I think Ethereal Ducklings have looked really, really good at different times, but Trizzle, man, he popped off on the strata. We didn't talk about him that much, but he really, really was oppressive from the sky. So that's 2 games down here, Ethereal Ducklings. What are you saying to the boys here, Risen, if you're looking at Ethereal Ducklings?
Ducklings, I think... What happened to Duelist, man? What happened to my ball player? I think it was very, very possible for them to kind of contest this dive v dive situation, and we see Salamanders trying and succeeding, playing still the dive comp, especially into something like a Mauga Sojourn, who really, really punishes these dives. But then we also see the adaptation of ball, which is also really good into slow moving comps that have to rotate to get things done, right? And being a ball, like, you kind of just don't care about that. You just go in, slam, poop around, do what you got to do, leave, come back again, What I'm saying to Ethereal Ducklings, I think we just worked a little bit more on our cleanups. I think we're really good at the engages. We know what we want to do, but sometimes we just let that Vara or that Zenyatta kind of just live for a little bit too long. And then they kind of just get 1 or 2 shots in, and that's all you need on those heroes, right? To just kill somebody straight out.
Yeah, it definitely feels like the team fights kind of unravel at a point. They'll get good starts, but the middle kind of... It feels like just that little bit of an extra edge Pink Salamanders individuals have that's pulling them through in a lot of these team fights. We saw Fluffy, as you were saying, in a number of occasions, just win a team fight by himself. Well, at least on that one occasion. There were times where Blur got in the backline, did a ton of damage. Trizzle, we saw in the play of the game and just in general, able to really, really put the pressure on from the sky. And if you leave these players alive, they'll find value. And it just felt like there was just a little bit of final edge lacking from Ducklings. And that's what separates a team like the Ethereal Ducklings from a team like the Pink Salamanders, like the Inglorious Blasters and beyond. The gulf is not always huge between the individuals, but it's often just that little bit of extra that each player has that can take a team fight from close to 1 in their favor. So we do have news on map number 3. Your ball man is back in here, Something Cat. He is a mercenary for Mauga. That's what he does, and Mauga's time has come and gone, and so has Something Cat. Duelist back in here for map number 3 as we await EEA's 3rd pick.
Yeah, I think, like I said, definitely a possibility to contest this divey dive, and Duelist seeming like he wants to play, or they want to play the more divey heroes in the ball, and maybe potentially we could see a Winston, maybe a Diva, for the side of Ducklings, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's ball again, and I don't dislike it entirely. I think Ducklings can really, really contest this ball v ball kind of play style if they really, really try their best here.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I'm trying to think, did we see Duelist play anything else? We've only seen him play the ball. Yeah, so I kind of, looking back at Samoa, it feels more like that map was on Pink Salamanders not picking the Zen, right? Because that was the map that had the Ana Kiriko. And I feel like once they went back to the Zen, we saw on so many occasions how good Fluffy and Metal Snow were at keeping each other alive under immense pressure. And that was kind of a big difference maker in these team fights. But I think if you'd had Voinaruni on the Venture in that match, his Genji was nothing to shake a stick at, don't get me wrong, but his Venture brings that edge that might have been able to take them through some of those team fights on Samoa. So I look forward to seeing here what they bring into map number 3, which is going to be Junkertown, a map kind of typified by long sight lines, I think, Risen.
And again, we could potentially see this Ana Zen, and as I say that, Ana has been banned by the side of Ethereal Ducklings, not really wanting to deal with the sleeping grandma any longer.
Makes sense. I think there's no... I think you could probably look towards the ball as a potential ban, but obviously Duelist, he's going to be one to be playing that. So secondary to that, you take out one of those backline heroes. I think either the Zen or the Ana, and they choose the Honor, I think that kind of makes Ball's life a lot easier. So Pink Salamanders, they're going to take out the Genji. Voidaruni is the target for today, it seems like, because they took out his Venture in the first game, and now they take out his Genji. It seems unlikely that he would be playing it anyway, but that's clearly a hero that they just don't want to play against here in Takata.
And I think it's kind of a testament to potentially a double hit scan Poke comp. Not really wanting to deal with the Genji, able to shut down hit scan heroes very well. So I wouldn't be surprised from Pink Salamanders if we see a double hit scan pick here, or a fairly slow Poke comp from their side. Maybe the traditional Sigma. Wouldn't put it past them, being quite of the experienced old timers, as you say. I'm surprised if we see like classical Sigma comp from the side of Salamanders.
Yeah, kind of typical of a map like this, and Blur has played many hours of very comfortable on that hero, as he is on most heroes, and I think that would kind of represent a nice tone shift here for Pink Salamanders that kind of gives us a good sense of their compositional depth, because so far we've only seen them run dive and dive adjacent compositions, so to see them flip the script so completely would be telling for where they are as a team, I think.
Yeah, not really sure what to expect from the side of Ducklings either, but if they're playing the ball and they lean a bit more into the poke style ball comp, this could be decently bad for the side of Sally's. But Sally's, again, coming with the Brig Zen ball comp, this is an old ball comp. We do not see this anymore.
Yeah, I like the Widowmaker. I think that's a cool pick. It makes a lot of sense on this map, and Trizzle is very capable. Blur's like, I'm going to show something at how it's done, though. He's on the attack, so I suspect he'll come out on the ball, yeah. He just trying, just kind of poking his head out, yeah.
I was hoping he was just shooting the motorcycle inside of the spawn room, and yes, he was. So we are now back on the ball with the Brig Zen.
Yeah,
not really sure what the Brig is going to accomplish here. No flankers from the side of Ethereal Ducklings. Maybe the Venture, but wouldn't be surprised if we see a swap off of the Brig potentially later on.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. No Ana in the pool, of course. That's why they're being forced to change Metal Snow into something else here. The ban, cancel that out. Trizzle finds the hit onto Ripe, a body shot. What a loser! But he does help secure the kill onto Voidaruni as well. There is still a duelist in the background looking for a duel, but not going to find it on this occasion. Card slowly making its way forward as Nyan puts the pressure on in the backline here. Both supports isolated up here. That's my health back, says Nyan. Prevents the Lixodium from getting that and secures the kill in doing so. Fluffy, what's he going to do on the Brig? He's going to go forward and kill both of the enemy healers, although it feels rather like an inconsequential moment in the sense that somebody was going to secure those kills. It just happened to be him.
Yeah, I mean, fairly strong fight for the side of Sally's here, but I mean, there's not much neutral outside of this Widowmaker. So if Ducklings can look to shut down this Widow early, it might be difficult for Salamanders to kind of scrounge up what they have left after that happens.
How patient was that from Trizzle? I would have shot 10, 15 times already in the time it took him to not even fire once. He's low, he's taken down. Luxodian takes matters into his own hands. He's low as well, though, and Nyan gets in the mix, takes him down, but it's kills on both sides here. But oh, geez, Blur riding the card almost all the way to the first point cap, but he is going to be found out. He is going to be pressured out here, potentially, likely to go down. The ball very capable of getting all the way out there. Pulse bomb pop from Nyan, doesn't find anything, gets slapped in the back of the head. That's a concussion at the very least there, but it sends him back to spawn the quick way.
Blur is still trying to make something happen here with the little bit of space that he has, but the backline from Sally is still walking up here, looking to take out the next fight.
Ooh, this is an aggressive move here from Trizzle, but he feels like he's got the cover, but he might not be so right about that. Voidaruni coming in aggressively now. Here comes Duelist as well. Good hookup from the two frontline players here, but the point is under pressure. There's a minefield on it. A lot of players dropping low, Trizzle dropping low, but they trade out. Ripe, Trizzle kill each other. That's not often you see that in this game, but the payload almost there, 0.23 meters on. Blur dropping low, taken down, and that's going to be another hold here for the for the Ethereal Ducklings.
0.23 meters. Like, these guys need to be so careful of C9ing in this next fight, especially with ball in the game. Looks like Sodian is also very careful of that.
Yeah, Sally's There's so many players there protecting the point. Good work from Teal Darkness, but I do need to be careful here. Excavation, initiation, Little Snow taken down, and now so is Fluffy. Both healers out of the game here. Point well and truly under control as well, and that's going to be yet another team fight lost here for the Pink Salamanders. A stalwart defense for the first point of Junkertown.
Yeah, and we saw the massive slam from the side of Duelist, lifting the Brig off the ground, and just the edge of Voiderini's ultimate managed to hit Brig in the feet, just below her shield. That's super technical play from their side, and they can't moving back now. I think Ducklings can breathe a sigh of relief, at least, that they can take this next fight fairly comfortable without having to worry about a C9.
This Anaban looks better and better the more the game goes on, right? How often did we see Metal Snow keep Fluffy alive and allow him to secure kills in the backline? Speaking of kills in the backline, Blur trying to get a kill in the backline on Luxodian. Pops the ultimate early there. I don't know about that. Didn't really feel like there was much pressure being built there, but it might allow him to secure a couple of kills. But Blur, he's come from on the point, but right, he wins the duel of the Sojourns, and they force out the Transcendence as well. Minefield on point. Somebody needs to get in there and touch. Why is it not moving? Because Transcendence can't make a move, apparently. Voideruni on the point. He needs to be careful. Pops out, doesn't trigger the mines because they just ended. Good work from him, but they are winning this team fight. The Ethereal Ducklings, they need to take down Fluffy. They look to do just that. Voideruni getting him so low, they lose him out instead. Another respawn's coming in from the Ethereal, from Pink Salamanders. It's looking difficult here for Ethereal Ducklings to hold on to this. It's gonna have to be Duelist buying time, but there's 5 red players on the point, but finally back up here for Duelist. Ulti popped once again, this time from Duelist. The minefield is good, but not good enough to keep them. As I say that, right getting kill after kill, and they secure any more here. Fluffy dropping low once again. The minefield not good enough to get kills. Fluffy so low on the right-hand side, on the left-hand side of the screen, and eventually they take him down. Blur, he's just going to spin around the point here forever. The boop off the point over time, almost ticking out here, but not quite. The backup is finally coming back in here. Pink Salamanders, the reinforcements have arrived. The cavalry has arrived, but is it enough? Because there's cavalry on both sides, and it's a stampede of kills now as Voiderini pops the ultimate, and it's going to be good. They hold first point here. Ethereal Ducklings giving themselves a chance to take a map in this game.
What a dogfight that was on point. Kills going either way, and you see the strength of being on the attacking side on first point with this faster spawns, but they just Duelist playing his life to the fullest on that point, just never dying, and then eventually Ethereal Ducklings respawning and coming back with the rush onto point kind of sealed the deal for them. Holding first here, really looking good for the side of Ducklings here, not being able to have that Ana on the side of Salamanders. Going on to the BAP Zen, a little bit of a testament to Korean Overwatch. And I mean, ball comp is a poke comp, right, at its core. So the BAP Zen is not entirely like a what is going on here pick. It makes sense, right? Not having the Ana, you prefer the BAP in the situation. The Brig not really getting much value because no flankers involved, and just kind of getting shot down by the dive from the Venture. Interesting defending with this BAP Zen composition, and the Ash as well. It's pretty strong defense, but just one slight crack and it can all fall over. So it's all of the Salamanders to kind of hold this strong pokey defense with the assistance from the Tracer Ball, slowing people down, trying to get onto them. I think it's not down and out yet for Salamanders.
Yeah, I mean, they got held, so they can do the holding, of course. Drizzle is on the Ash here. Very interesting pick here. Not going to look to match the Sojourn up that Ripe has been so effective on. As we see Duelist around the side here. One thing worth noting is that Fluffy is a very good Baptiste, but not going to be able to keep Drizzle alive here as he goes down. Duelist looking for targets, will grapple his way up to the high ground, gets the boop down as well. Fluffy under pressure, but not going to be taken down here. Backup has arrived as Voideruni. He gets taken down instead. A lot of momentum being built here, a lot of push getting done. Blur, he's had enough of that, will get aggressive now, needs to be careful as Drizzle has rejoined the fray. Could be finding anything. This is a very long neutral fight, but right under pressure, taken down. Neck snap there by Blur in a matter of seconds, and that's going to give space for Nyan to find the kill onto Lixodian. Duelist will fire back though with a kill of his own, and now the pressure will build. Voideruni gets aggressive, but once again taken down Mr. Card, kind of halfway here towards the first point cap.
Oh, yeah, no. It seems to be just an endless dogfight between which ball can do more in the other's backline, right? And so far, the assistance from the Trace on the side of Pink Salamanders has kind of pushed Ethereal Ducklings backline just over the edge. But I think Ducklings need to lean more in the fact that they have no backline. They need to just kind of commit on something and just make it work.
We'll have to do that. Ooh, Chisel finding shots here. Good headshot there, right? Taken low and Blur over the top now, but the healing is good. The cover is there, and the backline has not been breached just yet. But Blur making a nuisance of himself once again. But meanwhile, as you say, in his own backline, there is Havoc afoot as he goes down on the front line now. This is great work from Ethereal Ducklings. This might just be the final fight here. If they can secure a late kill or two, and they do just that, Chisel goes down, and now to get aggressive. If they get one more, there it is. Can they get the Zen? Of course they can. The point rolling on through here. It's going to be all up to Blur to try and buy time for his team. The ball is in on point here. Minefield available. Pop now. Minefield for both, in fact, to clear that out. Excavation, initiation, tectonic overcharge, or whatever that spell is called, is going to be used here to try and keep them in it, or drills right through Nyan. Blur dropping low, taken down. Kitsune Rush is good. Too late to the party here is the Zen Yeezy, and it's not going to be enough. Fluffy kicks them off, but they're going to kick him back to a 1-0 lead here as EEAD make sure we don't get a full steamroll here.
And I think it's really a testament to the Ana ban, right? Not really being able to shut down the ball from range, and Ana also having zero fall off against the character like Bap, who has fall off. Really hard to do stuff from as far back as you want to play against the ball. So I think now with Ana back in the game, Sally's are probably going to look to just come back into this and completely wipe them. You ban my Ana, I will win. Like, I will wipe you off the face of the earth type thing.
I feel like if you're Sally as well, you just go, yeah, let's just ban that ball as well. Why would we? Judas has played literally nothing else, right? So what do we have to fear? Blur knows he can play anything, right? He's not beholden to the ball play style. So it wouldn't surprise me if we see the ball banned out here from Pink Salamanders. And then if you could ban the Ana again, as you say, you absolutely would. You'd ban that hero over and over. And it kind of looking, forward throughout the tournament. It's a chink in Pink Salamander's armor, right? That Ana is a very, very big part of their success, it seems like. So getting rid of that is a pretty solid way potentially to a map victory in future matches. But we're not there yet. Ethereal Ducklings will feel like they've cracked something here, and maybe they have risen. Maybe this is what they needed. We didn't feel like they were far off in the previous two maps. Maybe this little confidence boost will take them through to a map number 4.
Possibly, yeah. And I think Salamanders might be aware of this ball ban, but maybe Blur just doesn't want to do it and wants to take the ball duel constantly. And Blur the Blur with the Nyan Tracer as well, looking stronger than the front line of Ducklings. And I think if Ducklings don't adapt and maybe swap, like, again, to a Tracer or something that can assist this ball, especially now with this Anazen backline maybe coming into play, could kind of be down and out for the side of Ducklings. But then again, the Ana ban from Ducklings, yes, it's a chink in the armor for the side of Salamanders, but I don't think other teams necessarily want to ban Ana either, right? Yeah. Because it seems like the side of Ducklings don't necessarily want to play Ana or have a person who plays Ana. So banning Ana out for them doesn't seem like that big of an issue. But on top of that, keeping Ana in shouldn't necessarily be a problem either if we're running a Kiriko, right? So I think maybe if we just play in a way that we are actually there to to cleanse the antis or cleanse the sleeps, perhaps, then we could be in a better position. And a lot of it is also because I see the backline from Ducklings, right, being this Kirilusho, kind of stacking a lot more than usual. And it's not necessarily what you want to do, right? You want to give your Kiriko options. You want to give your Kiriko places to teleport to. And then getting kind of stuck in the same angle and getting slammed by this ball with the Tracer follow-up, we see Cleanse getting forced then and there. And then Anti-Nade is kind of free to reign after that, right? All from one ball slam. And we see Amp fly out, we see Cleanse fly out, and then all Kiriko has left is teleport, right? It's like you can't really do anything with that. But we do see the next map coming in, Hollywood, from the side of Pink Salamanders, playing into this Ana strength once again, playing into this dive strength once again. Salamanders do ban Kiriko now, and I think they want to further strengthen their Ana pick in this map and their final map as well. So if they can further strengthen their win con, so far it has been their backline that we've been talking about the most. If they can further strengthen it by removing Cleanse out of the game completely, that is good. And then I think Ducklings noticing the strength of the Ball Tracer frontline, banning out the Tracer. Not necessarily, they haven't wanted to answer with the Tracer, it seems like. So I think removing the Tracer entirely from the equation is potentially their thought process here.
I think it's definitely a ban that seems obvious now that you look at it, right? Like the standout hero, player hero combination for Pink Salamanders outside of Blur on the Ball, which you can't ban as Ethereal Ducklings, has been on the Tracer. He's pretty much been a consistent force on that and has been very, very good at building up pulse bombs and finding picks as a follow-up to Blur's slams. So good ban from them. Again, I definitely feel like those Pink Salamanders, if you want to, go to bed early tonight, you just ban the ball and move on with your day. It's not to say Duelist can't play anything out, but he hasn't shown you that he can. So force him to show you, hey, I can do other stuff, because we know Blur. We know Blur can play any tank, pretty much any play style, and excel at it and be comfortable at it. He's most likely doing a lot of the calling for this team as well, at least in team fights. So he'll be in control from that side as well. And it's just seems like a no-brainer to me. But they feel like they want to remove the cleanse from the game, or at least force them onto something a little bit less comfortable. But I definitely feel like that ball ban jumps out to me as a very obvious ban. But we'll have to wait and see whether Pink Salamanders end up needing to pull that ball ban out of the pocket in a game 5. You predicted, Risen, a 3-2 here. So it's up to Ducklings now to take us there.
I mean, you mentioned that Sally's potentially wanted to go to bed early, right? And they do opt to swap sides. Now Sally's on the defense, potentially looking to just full hold and then attack just 1 point on the map, right? And just get into bed really early, like you said. But it's really, really, really volatile matchup here with no Kiriko for the side of Ducklings, who have been playing that all the time. We see a Juno now. Now Juno in this comp is questionable. Juno,
nobody really benefits from the speed, really.
Yeah, nobody really benefits from the double speed. Yeah, and Juno not really being able to assist anywhere in an engaged fight from distance or anything. It's like, okay, we're just going Juno potentially just to have the slight mobility to get out. And then we do also see the Brig adaptation from the side of Fluffy, potentially not enjoying the susceptible Brig, Ana Zen backline anymore. So going for the more stable Brig Ana dive composition.
I don't know. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? It's been so good. They've been so good at keeping each other alive, and they're definitely trying to operate in that same way in terms of healing for each other, the two healers. We'll have to wait and see whether they get the job done. Duelist happy to just take the duel on the front line. Oh, slow crawl up to the high ground here, gets there. Trizzle dropping low, but will manage to get back, and they'll take down Vorderini in the meantime. Interesting to see the Genji come out of him instead of the Venture here. So a little bit of adaptation coming through. Duelist takes down Blur, but he's running out of friends here, right? He's read the fight completely differently. He actually backed out there, and Duelist likely feeling that they could take more out of this team fight, but it does get out safely in the end.
Oh, I was going to mention, Ripe kind of backing out early, maybe not trusting completely his frontline, and missed out on quite a lot of follow-up damage on that ball slam there.
Yeah, it did. It actually felt like he might have been able to kill 1, maybe even 2 kills in that time, but not really worth thinking about now. Is once again, Duelist gets up. Oh, not quite able to slip into that gap there onto the terrace, and now dropping low here is the Genji. Vorderini will be kept healthy though. Kind of do see the power of the Juno here, able to just kind of stand back, but you see the weakness as well now is Blur gets in the backline. He takes down 1. They have lost Metal Snow in the backline, have the Pink Salamanders, but it's not likely to matter here. They're losing too many players on the side of Ethereal Ducklings here. Trizzle dropping low once again. It's a mirror image of last time, but this time Duelist in position to take it out. He feels like it's still winnable. Once again, Duelist committing to this team fight so hard when his team is not really in position to back him up.
Yeah, no, I think Burning Minds there, maybe I think he was trying to get them on high ground, but the whip shot came out from Fluffy, so it came out the point.
Oh,
so
this is nice.
Not
charge for the healers. Oh, they both have ult, so it actually is just charge for the Duelist.
But yeah, I mean, potentially it could have been decent if you could get the mines on high ground there, but unfortunately wasn't able to get them there.
Rally pop now. Nyan finds the opening salvo here. Voidruni going down, right dropping as well. No DPS left. One support left. 2 players left. Team fight over here. Once again, swift as you like. 3 ults committed for Pink Salamander. And that's team fight number 3 done.
Yeah, and I think that's a read on like they just used ults against us. Like in really, really bad scenarios, we can kind of just win with what we have here. 3 ults seems like a bit of an overinvestment, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Well, indeed, they're feeling confident here as once again the fight unfolds here. The monkey in the backline, a nuisance, it has to be said here. Overclock available, but he's dropping so much damage onto the Ethereal Duckling's backline as Trizzle pops his ulti defensively there to get rid of the enemy Genji. Now with that done, he can get aggressive here. Looks to take down Luxodium, won't find him here, but likely to find Coconuts, does so with the help of Blur. 60 seconds left on the clock, Risen. It's looking all over but the crying here for the Ducklings.
I just really want to see an Ana swap from the side of Ducklings, like being an Ana enjoyer myself, and it fitting into this composition so well. It just doesn't seem like the Juno can really do anything past heal botting from main.
Yeah, I just worry that they're not dealing with Blur in the backline, and Ana isn't going to help them do that. As once again, Voidruni drops here. I feel like I'd love to see Voidruni back on the venture. Is so good at finding space, finding picks, and a little bit of extra sustain is going to keep him healthy in the backline here. But they're having a hard time pushing their way through here. They've got the last fight here, 20 seconds left on the clock, overclock available, and that's pretty much it here. It's going to be a dry fight for both teams, and taken down. Nyan finds the kill onto his opposite number as Duelist is slept on the high ground. The power of the Ana coming to fruition there as Trizzle nanoed up. Voidruni did end up switching on to the venture, but it's not going to be enough to keep them in this team fight. Duelist dropping low under pressure. The slam is good, but it's not good enough to keep them in this team fight, to keep them in this match. Trizzle 1 HP gets into range of the rally, and that's going to be it for the Ethereal Ducklings push. A draw at best here, Risen, to take them to map number 5.
I mean, we just see a bit of overzealousness from Ripe there, sliding in onto the high ground. I don't know what the communication was there. Maybe the ball was supposed to clear it out or something so we could get the overclock off of high ground, but losing the overclock possibility at the beginning of the fight and not being able to have really any other ults involved after that is kind of a big blunder from the side of Ducklings. But yeah, as you say, draw at best. I wouldn't put it past Ducklings. We saw how well they defended 0.23 meters on Junkertown, so maybe they could do it again here.
Well, they'll have to if they want to keep themselves in this series, but the difference is they've got Metal Snow on the opposing team on that Ana. We saw the power of that hero against Duelists on the ball, and it's been a big difference maker once again. The Zen not even necessary. The Brig makes a lot of sense. If they're going to be running this ball, you can just sit with your Ana and prevent the ball from getting as much value, and it did kind of prove that way. But I kind of felt, Risen, that once again they fell back into a bit of disconnection on the side of Ethereal Ducklings. But they have now switched up compositions. Duelist this time going to try and match Blur on the monkey.
You see the BAP Ilari backline. Now this backline, I'm not sure how it is going to gel with this Winston that much, but it looks like they're going for like the extreme punish onto the monkey with the Torbjorn, as well as the Ash with a poke from the distance, especially to shut down this fire.
1-2 shots, not good enough to get the kill. They do clear out the turret as well. Trizzle. So this is going to be good, but this is a very pokey composition. A lot of damage from range. Ana dropping low once again, but they need to be careful. Damage over the top is good. I'm not going to secure any kills in the meantime. Blur, you just sit up on the high ground here, force out some cooldowns perhaps. Oh, Duelist, he's not going to do what he does. Overextending once again. Duelist costing his team big time here, as now Pink Salamanders can flood in onto the point. They do get the kill onto Trizzle, but they trade out a healer. The Brig is putting the pressure on the backline here. Blur so low, Metal Slow, going to be kept healthy by the fluffy Brig. Is once again Pink Salamanders clinical in their execution. They just need the one tick. The ball is on the point now on the high ground, finding targets if he can, but not able to secure kills. He does get Metal Snow actually, but he's running out of friends so quickly here. 4 players alive on point. Backup is arriving here in the form of a couple of healers, but he does go down, not likely to live long. Coconuts taken down, Licks taken down, and that's going to be it. Game number 4 goes the way of Pink Salamanders. and they take what turns out to be a pretty comfortable 3-1 win in the series.
Yeah, and I mean, even though it looked pretty one-sided most of the time, Ethereal Ducklings really fighting back in the fights that they were winning, and especially on Junkertown being able to just battle it out on the first point and still push past the very heavily pokey backline after that. I mean,
Damn.
Both of these teams have come a long way, and it's really nice to see the strength of Ducklings current day from how recent their team has been formed.
Yeah, nothing to be ashamed of at all if you're Ethereal Ducklings. Yeah, I think you come into this as definitely not the favorites of the two teams, and you put up a fight. We so often see 3-0s in South African Overwatch, so anytime you're able to take a map off a team that is more highly favored than you, I think you can be really proud. And they looked good at different times. Samoa was fairly close as well, and I think Ethereal Ducklings can walk away from this with their head held high. But we cannot walk away from this yet, Risen, until we elucidate our player of the match. Who do you think takes it in your eyes?
So for this one, I made a promise to myself that I would not be picking a support player. Biased as a fellow support player that I am, and the really impressive plays coming out from both backlines. I think I'm going to give my MVP to Nyan. Really showing up wherever he was needed, and really stooping under our radar as casters, but I was seeing the majority of stuff that he was doing on the sidelines, and a really impressive tracer player. So yeah, my MVP will go to Nyan.
Picking up the play of the game on the Sojourn as well in that last game, looking very good at that as well. If you asked me, I would definitely give it to Metal Snow Fluffy. I think they were so key to this team's tempo, and we saw how not having that honor affected their ability to execute on Junkertown. So I think Metal Snow for me probably the stand-up, but we'll give it to Nyan. Definitely no player on Pink Salamanders that isn't worthy of player of the match, and I think for sure Nyan popping off in a lot of different situations, not just on the Tracer as you mentioned, but also, as I said, on the Sojourn, so showing a little bit of depth there as well, but well supported in the skies often by Trizzle. So Pink Salamanders can feel good about where they are. I believe they've already lost to Inglorious Blasters, so the next match of theirs will be keen on seeing is of course their match against Five Nights, who've looked absolutely top notch in the two games we've seen from them. So the team that as we expected is kind of focused on the pointy end of the table, but Ethereal Ducklings putting up a very strong fight here. But that's going to be it from us, guys. I hope you've had a lovely Thursday evening here on the eve of a long weekend. Nice break from work or school or whatever. We get to enjoy some Overwatch, have a nice sleep, and jump into a fun weekend. Maybe we'll have more Overwatch this weekend. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. It is, of course, Easter on Sunday, so I don't know how many games will be scheduled for then. But if not, hopefully next week some more Overwatch from the summer series. It's been a pleasure, guys. If you want to keep up with all things South African Overwatch, you know where to go, at ZA Overwatch on Twitter. On YouTube, of course, all matches pushed from the Twitch channel, which you're likely currently watching on, to there if you want to catch up with all the VODs. So yeah, and of course the Discord channel as well. Nightbot is having a breakdown apparently, just squirting out information in chat, so you can scroll up and down and you'll find something to click on if you want to get involved in South African Overwatch. And if you don't feel comfortable getting competitive, you just want to try something fun, of course Pug's happening occasionally, I suspect. And also keep an eye out for things like your Conquer the Climbs, your Pride Cups, that kind of thing, where you can dip your toe into the competitive space without committing to a competitive team or anything. That's going to be it for us, from us here, guys. Once again, big thanks to Peach in the background. Big thanks to Risen as well for joining us on cast. Big thanks to myself as well for being here as the third person. But that's going to be it from us, guys. Hopefully we'll see you this weekend. Otherwise, next week for more of the summer series.